Welcome to this Google Sites screencast where we're looking at how to share homework and lesson plans. In this screencast specifically, we're going to take a look at how to embed a Google Slides or Google presentation file on your homework page. So in this example, I'm looking at a teacher's web page. I'm on the homework page, and you can see here there's a Google Slides or Google presentation file embedded here. This is essentially like a PowerPoint. If I click through using these arrows, or if the parents or students click through using these arrows, they would see all the different slides. So how this is set up is the first slide is the most recent day of class. This is the agenda that was given in class. If there was homework, there might be homework listed here, as well as a learning target. If I arrow back, this is the previous day of class, so on and so forth. So if you're a teacher that wants to kind of organize everything into one place and only have to update the one file, this one Google slide or Google presentation, you could use this in class, maybe have the agenda up on screen when students come into the classroom, and this would also be linked up on your page so that if a student misses class, they would see what was covered, any resources that you might have referred to, any homework that was given, and this would work well on a homework page. So how do we set this up? I'm going to jump over here to Google Drive, make this a little bit bigger here. And in Google Drive, I'm going to go to Create Presentation. And when the presentation opens, you'll get a choice of a look or a theme. So you can choose what you want. I'll choose this light gradient one here. I'll hit OK. And this first slide, you could say Mr. Kafka's class agendas. We'll say this is for 7th grade computers. Okay, I could decorate this up. I could add some pictures on here if I want to. I also should probably name this file. I'll say 7 computers agendas or homework, whatever you want to call it. When you want to add a new slide, you can do so clicking the red plus over here. If you click this little arrow, this gives you a choice of the type of slide. I'm going to do a title and body. It's going to give me a new slide with title box and a body box here. And I'm going to kind of design this one how I envision myself using these going forward. So day 1, let's say this was going to be on Monday 9/1. Maybe I'll center this. I can, design this in such a way that it looks decent. And then here would be maybe my bullet points of what we plan to do that day. Review syllabus. Homework is to complete computers worksheet, and so on and so forth. If I wanted to, I could readjust this text box. If I wanted to add some pictures over here, some visuals. If I wanted to make a shape at the bottom that had my learning target in it, I could draw a little box, double click in that box, learning target. That's a little too small of a font size. I would highlight that, maybe make that a little bit bigger. Whoa, maybe too big there. Let's go 24. And then I might write whatever the learning target is for the day. Okay, so going forward, when I want to do day 2, I would come back into this file, the 7 computers agendas file. I could right click or control click or control click on this and choose duplicate slide. And you always want to keep the current date near the top. You don't want to put the current date buried all the way at the bottom, because then your users are going to have to click, 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 click as this gets bigger and bigger. So this is my day 1 Monday file. This is going to be my day 2. And maybe I'll change this date. Maybe I have class on 9/3, and I would update this to be whatever we did in class, so on and so forth. So just very simply keeping my class agendas, my homework in a Google presentation. Now to put this on your site, you first have to do this in the Google presentation file. You have to go to File, Publish to the Web, and you have to turn on Start Publishing. Don't check this box that says require viewers to sign in with their Franklin Public Schools account. Again, do not check that. That'll just make it a hassle if parents or students go there. They won't be able to see your file. They'd have to sign in. It just gets to be a mess. When I start publishing this, now it's being published. Let me zoom back out here. You don't have to do anything with this information. This is just making it now so when you add the file to your site, it can be seen. So I'm actually done here. I've started publishing this. Again, this would be a public document, so make sure that you're not using students' first and last names on any of these slides. If you want to add pictures of your students, that's fine. You just don't want to refer to students by first and last names to protect their privacy. So I've set it to be published. Now, when I go back over, let's pretend I'm editing my homework page here. I'm going to click on the little pencil tool, And I'm going to delete this one just to do a fresh example here. Place my cursor. I go to Insert. One of the choices under the Insert menu is Presentation. This shows any presentations I've created. If you don't see the file you're looking for, you could search for it. I'm going to actually click the checkbox there. Hit Select. Now you get a choice of if I want a border. I personally don't like the borders. I personally don't want to see the title at the top. Size-wise, I think you can do the largest one, which is 700 pixels. I basically, whenever I include a Google presentation file on a site, I do not check any of these. For size, again, I try to choose the biggest. I hit Save. I will center this up. Let's take a look at what this looks like now. So for my classes, that actually might be too big. Maybe I would go medium if I was worried that was too big for somebody to scroll down and be able to click through. But again, people could come here, use these little arrows to click through and see what they missed. This is great too, especially if you have students that miss class or parents that say what was covered on what day. You can direct them right to your site and they can click through and see what was covered. And you could also link to resources in here too if you had resources linked up for students to go to for online help. So that is how you embed a Google presentation file into your site. You can use this as part of your homework page if you choose to.